Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. You all are probably like, what's up with her voice? I lost my voice over the weekend, but I'm good. We're still gonna go into this because I promised you all this video, and a lot of people have been asking me about it, so we are just going to jump right into it. However, I do want to say a few things before we get started. The first thing being that I am going to tell the backstory and how we first fell out, and then I'm going to tell what recently happened. If you all don't care to hear about the beginning, I mean, you all can skip through. I'll probably put exactly where I start talking about the new stuff. But I mean, honestly, I'm providing all receipts and all this stuff, so if you all want the full tea, you're gonna stay tuned. As far as like how I feel about making this video or anything like that, I am going to stress this in the video that I do not think that this girl was a bad friend to me. I just think how she handles things after we fall out is an issue, and the playing victim thing is an issue. And because there's been so many subliminal posts about me that my friends have been telling me about, that I've witnessed with my own eyes, that now I'm clearing my name. Like, I was gonna let the shit rock until she won't shut up. So like, here we are. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so here's how the story starts. So this is how I met her. So I created a group message back when I was in Atlanta, once I got out of college, because I wanted to meet new friends. The reason why me and her became closer than the majority of the girls in the group message was that she would always be able to make it to the events, because she really didn't have that many friends, or any friends in Atlanta. That's no tea, no shade. I really didn't have that many either, but yeah, I think that's why she was able to make it to the majority of the events or whatever. So that's why I fucked with her. Then we both got into talks about needing a roommate, and we ended up becoming roommates. We were roommates for a year. We only got into one like altercation when we were roommates, and we got past it in like the next couple days, and I felt like that's why I fucked with her, because we could argue and we could get past things. Little did I know that's not the case, but that's why I fucked with her. So we actually decided to go our separate ways, just because I had never had my own apartment. I wanted my own apartment. She got her own apartment. There was no bad blood, no beef, nothing. And then she moved somewhere, she moved in Kennesaw in Georgia. And then I think maybe anywhere from 6 to 9 months into her lease, she decided that she was going to move to Austin, Texas. This didn't necessarily affect me, just because I didn't feel like this girl was like my best friend or anything, so it wasn't affecting me that she was moving, but we did still keep in contact, and all that. We were still cool. So now we get to the tea. So August comes around and I get in a car accident. If you all saw, I might be messing with this, but if you all saw, I had a red convertible, and I got in a car accident, and that was August of 2019. In September, that's her birthday. So she wanted to go to Puerto Rico. I basically told her, like, girl, I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off, because I'm now paying for this car, and they still wanted me to keep paying my car note and all that stuff after that. And so she basically volunteered to take care of my plane ticket and some other expenses, and that I would just pay her back. This is something we did for each other all the time. If our accounts were in the negative or something, we'd send each other the money, and then we pay each other back, or we give somebody the money until we got paid, like things of that sort. So this is just something that we used to do for each other. So I think around the amount that she gave me was maybe around like $400 or $500, because our plane ticket itself was like $3. So I booked the hotel myself. I paid the total cost for the hotel, which was around like $3 something, I think. And I paid, like, when we went out there, the Bacardi factory, like some of the things that we went to. And when all was said and done, I think I owed her about $80. I thought this was one of the best trips we had ever been on, and so like it was fun, like everything was cool afterwards, like we were still talking and everything. But I just remember one day, which I'll post the receipts because I don't like remember exactly what I said, but I keep all my text messages. But I think I said something along the lines of like I called her or I texted her, and then she texted me back like some days later, and I was like, bitch, that was like 2 days ago. And yeah, she just like never replied, never called me back or whatever. And so I just kind of left it for what it was. I wasn't thinking much of it. I was just like, I was at a point where I was getting tired of always having to be the one to call my friends and reach out to my friends. So I was just like, whatever. So maybe I think around October, we got back from the trip, probably because her birthday was on the 10th of September or the 11th, it's one of them. And once we got back from the trip, that had to be around like maybe like the 15th or so. So I think I had one more paycheck coming, so I had to use that paycheck for rent, and then I got paid again. So I just fully like told her like ahead of time that I had to use this paycheck for rent. So I just like thought we had an understanding that I would give her, mind you all, like I said, she gave me about $400 or $500. I owed her $80, and I just thought since I had gave her back 90% of her money and I had already communicated with her what was going on, that everything would be cool. But literally, you all, which I'll show you all the message, I don't have the screenshot of exactly what she said, but literally I woke up, literally guys, the morning I get paid. It's like 7 a.m. She made this post maybe 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning, and basically said the bank of so and so is closed. And it was like, it said something along the lines of like, people always use me as a shoulder to cry on, but nobody ever wants to give me back my money in time, and like I'm not doing nothing for nobody no more. And I'm just like, pause, is she talking about me? Because like I thought we already talked about this, which led me to send her this text message. So the text message, this is from October 18, 2019. I said, I literally just got paid today and had to pay rent last week. My account was negative $139 for a week, so the subliminal wasn't necessary. I sent the rest of your money. If you wanted to know what was going on, you just could have asked. And back in 2018, 2019, it was the struggle, like especially getting in that car accident. I had just moved into a new apartment. It was just like a lot. And so I noticed that message didn't send. I talked to my friend and I was like, yeah girl, so my message is not delivering. So as you all are going to see in the screenshot, I tried sending it a second time. The message does not deliver. And I'm like, did she block me? So mind you all, she did not block me on Instagram at that point. She just had me blocked on text. She just had me blocked through text. And I sent her a DM. So I ended up sending her a DM, which you can read here, which I was just confused, like why she was making subliminal posts about me. And she had not communicated with me at all, like what any issue was. I had no clue we were even beefing. Like it was just mind-boggling to me. Once I send her that message, she never replies to the message. I don't even think she opens up the message. And I'm just like, okay. At that point, I was just like, I'm leaving this girl alone. Like, I really don't care like that. Like, and the reason I didn't care like that, because I was like, well, I sent her back her money. You know, I said, you know, even though I really didn't get to say my piece at all because I was blocked. But I was just like, whatever. Like, I'm over it. This girl wasn't my best friend. Like, we were only roommates. It was whatever. So I just didn't think anything of it until, like I said, I'm still following this girl on Instagram and I'm constantly seeing her making subliminals about me. And I'm like, what the fuck is the problem? Like, bitch, like, stop talking about me. So I still let that shit slide. I still let it slide, y'all. Then I noticed that she had been watching my Netflix account for weeks. She had been on my Netflix watching Vampire Diaries for weeks after she had blocked me, had not told me what no type of issue was, still had the absolute audacity to go on my account and watch my stuff that she was not paying for. So I changed the password. I took her account completely off because we were sharing the Netflix at first. But because I had owed her money, I was just letting her use the Netflix for free. But bitch, if you block me and we not cool no more and I didn't pay you back your money, stay off my shit. So that was that. I took her off. Didn't say nothing else about it. It was whatever. Left that shit alone. So like I said, after that I went ahead and left it alone until I realized that I no longer followed her. And this was back in October. I realized I didn't follow her anymore, but I didn't unfollow her, which means that she removed me as a follower. At this point, I'm just like, okay, this is like, there's clearly some real fucking beef that you have with me, and I'm not understanding because you've never spoke on it, you've never said anything. So like, what the fuck is the issue? So I try calling her, and I'll show you all the screenshots of this. Every time I try calling her, it's like she'll pick up, she'll hear me, and then she'll hang up. And I keep trying to call her, she's not answering. And then she texts me and says, I said hello, who's this? I can't hear you. Who are you trying to reach? And I said, oh, it's Deanna, the person you blocked. I figured since you blocked me and then unblocked me so I could unfollow you, you had an issue you needed to speak on. Never replies to it, ends up blocking the number. And at that point, I'm like, bitch, now you have left me no choice. I have tried to communicate with you through your number, through DMs, through calling you, through this fake number. Like, you have this major fucking issue with me. We have been friends. At that point, we had been friends for like 2 years. I'm like, we have been friends for that long. Like, just, bitch, say what the fucking problem is. Like, that's what kills me sometimes about a lot of girls that I end up being friends with and shit. Like, say what your fucking issue is. Like, I just don't understand. Are y'all scared of me? Like, say what the fucking problem is. And so at that point, which of course receipts, I have them, I end up posting this. Okay, so this post says, when you're scared to talk about how you feel, how you really feel, so you block people and become mute. And then the caption says, open your mouth, sis. I'm tired of this weird ass petty shit. Y'all gotta be careful who you call your friends, because these girls will turn on you the first chance they get. I literally don't think I have ever had someone I consider such a close friend to be such a coward. And then I tagged her in it. I said, kind of crazy how we were just partying in Puerto Rico and now you're blocking me and scared to tell me what the motherfucking problem is. So that's when I was like, at that point, fed up. I'm like, girl, you're not allowing me to speak. You're being petty. You're doing petty shit. You're using my Netflix. Like, you're doing all this weird shit, but you can't tell me what the fucking problem is. I think I even commented under her post, like, how you wearing this gift that I bought you, but like you have no decency to even tell me. Like, the gift I bought her in Puerto Rico, like, you had no decency to even tell me like what the fucking issue was. And so yeah, it just like completely threw me the fuck off. After I did that, I think I posted on my story that she was a weak ass bitch, because she is. And that was that. Of course, she didn't reply to anything on Instagram. She literally made her own post, her own subliminal post, did not tag me in it, knowing I had not followed her, nothing. Kept doing the weak stuff that she was doing, and I'm just like, okay, this bitch is weak sauce. Like, I'm done with it. I'm not dealing with it no more. I felt like she only had that much energy with me because she was in Austin. I felt like if she was in Atlanta at the time, I feel like she genuinely would not have had that energy with me, because, baby, I would have pulled up. We're not doing none of that weird shit. So that was that. I left it alone. However, she ends up texting me the next day. And y'all, I'm gonna show y'all. This is the longest fucking message I've ever received in my life. It was so big, it turned into a note. And I pulled it out, and it basically said, I mean, y'all can see it's gonna be numbered, like all this stuff. And she basically says, because it's too much to fucking read, she basically says along the lines of, I have fallen out with this girl, this girl, this girl, and I've never, you know, they've tried me more than she's tried me, and I never retaliated against them like this. I've never posted them on my social media. I've never tagged them. Then she also goes on to say that I'm sure at that time I had about 40K. She goes on to say that my followers are giving her death threats. And I think at that point, that's when I should have known, like, some screws were missing. But yeah, she said that my followers gave her death threats. Baby, what type of... She was like, that's what happens when you have the influence that you have, Deanna. Baby, ain't nobody threatening your life. Come on now. Am I a Kardashian? Like, please. Ain't nobody sitting here threatening your life over me. Some of my followers barely fucking like me, and you think they finna go and attack you and threaten your life? Come on. So basically my reply to that shit was like, baby, you missing the point. At the end of the day, I tried to handle this the adult way. I tried to reach out to you several different ways. You kept saying what you wanted about me. You kept doing what you wanted to do, and you thought you would get no reaction out of me. So I'm confused as to why you're that dumb to think that you're going to keep poking me, knowing who I am. Then Pisces gotta have the last word, but you're gonna keep poking me. You're never letting me say my piece. We never had a discussion, nothing. You could not even talk to me like an adult. And then you think that you're going to keep poking me and I'm not going to say anything. You left me no choice, baby, and I don't care how you feel about it. And that was that. So I had left it alone. I was going to be just done with it or whatever. It was clear to me that she was weak, and we were not friends, and it was whatever. Went on with my life, not even gave her a second thought. Now we are in April of 2020. So this is the month that I created my OnlyFans, and all of a sudden I realized that this name is this username is so familiar, and the username is her old GroupMe username from when I first created that group message back in Atlanta. So I'm just like, why is this girl, why did this girl pay money to subscribe to my OnlyFans? Automatically I'm thinking, bitch, you want some sneaky shit, like you want some fucked up shit, and like, don't get your ass beat. You know what I mean? Like, bitch, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to stop. And I sent her a message. I'll show you all the screenshot where I was like, sweetie, I see you. Like, you're weird. Like, I see you. I posted on my story asking my followers, like, what would you all do, you know, if you were me? Like, would you all block her? Like, would you take it as a compliment? Like, what would you do? And a lot of people were telling me to block her and all that stuff. And I'm not sure if I did, because the next day maybe it was the next day or that same night or so when I was asking people, she texted me. And this is the text message. The text message asked me, was I awake? Because she wanted to talk. Naturally, I'm taken back because you all, this whole little ordeal that happened, this happened in November. So I had not heard from this girl since November. It's now April of 2020. So I was just like, what the fuck does she want? Like, so basically, I get on the phone with her, and she basically tells me that when that whole thing happened with the money situation, it was not about money. She was going through something mentally, and mind you, she was crying while she was telling me this stuff, that she was going through something mentally, that she was taking it out on everybody. She didn't just take it out on me, she took it out on her family. It wasn't just a me issue. She just decided she was going to block everybody. That's just what she does with her family. And That's like her way of coping in a sense, and that now she's in therapy and now she's taking medicine for it and now she is good. Like, you know, that was a complete misunderstanding. It was not about the money. She just needed something to make it about, and that's what she decided to make it about, to just kind of shut people out of her life. And at that point, I'm just kind of like, okay, like, she's crying, like, you know, maybe she's telling the truth, like, let me have, you know, some type of sympathy for her. And that's what I was trying to do. But I also stressed to her that, like, you know, she did tell me she still thought I was fucked up about the whole post thing, and I did tell her there will be no apology given for that post, because at the end of the day, you left me no option. I don't know what you thought I was going to do, but you were doing the option. You decided that you wanted to keep poking me, and then when I retaliated against you, then it became an issue. So I told her, just give me like a night to think about it, because she basically said, like, if I never want to be her friend again, she understands, like, it would suck if that is what, you know, what this ends up being, but, you know, she still cares about me. She still wants to build a friendship with me, and that was that. Real quick, that's how you know, because I'm not even on no like shit where, not that this has always happened, but the majority of the time girls apologize to me, because I'm not saying like I am completely flawless and I don't do things wrong, but I don't move funny with people. I don't do people dirty. I don't. And the thing is, I don't start nothing with nobody, but I will finish it. But I'm not gonna start nothing with nobody, and that's the thing. And I feel like that's why she came with that apology, because she knew I didn't fucking do nothing to her. She knew, like, girl, I was being nothing but your fucking friend, and you turned on me for no fucking reason. And so that was that. I woke up the next morning, I thought about it, I discussed it with my other friend, and I basically came to the conclusion that I was going to let bygones be bygones and we can move on. I ended up texting her and, you know, and seeing if she wanted to talk, and I talked to her, and I basically told her, like, I would love to be your friend again. You know, we can, you know, not even talk about this again. What happened happened. I told her I wasn't going to give her an apology for the other thing, but, you know, we can move forward and move past this. And I did stress to her that this can never happen again. Like, the whole blocking thing gets under my skin. I don't like it. I don't like feeling like I can't say how I feel about certain things, but you can say how you feel about everything. And yeah, I just told her, like, if that were to happen again, like, we can never be friends again. And she completely understood, and that was that. So she asked me if I had still planned on moving to Texas, and I told her, yeah, I was thinking about it. I originally wanted to move to Dallas, but she told me that she was moving to Houston. So we basically agreed. It was like we never stopped being friends in a sense, because we started talking back normal, like, every day again. And we had made a plan for me to come to Houston right after I got done visiting my mom in Texarkana. So I was basically in Texas for like 2 weeks. So I made the plan to go to Houston and see her, and I was in Houston for maybe like 5 days. During that time, I was looking for apartments, and we were just having a good time out there, and I love the vibe of Houston. And I ultimately made the decision, partly because of her and her living here and me already having a friend here, to move to Houston. I don't know if I would have left Atlanta if she wasn't here, nor do I know if I would have moved to Houston. I probably would have moved to Dallas. So I do think she had a, you know, major impact on my decision to move to Houston. So I applied for my apartment, got approved, decided I was going to move to Houston. This was June of 2020, and then I moved to Houston in September. Once I got here, she met my family. Everything was cool. We were having a good time or whatever. And a week in, it was back to September again, which was her birthday in 2020, and we decided to go to Puerto Rico. I mean, not Puerto Rico, Cancun and Tulum. So the trip went well for the most part, but we'll get into some of that later. However, she did mention to my friend's friend, who is actually now my good friend, mentioned to her that I was bullying her. Like I be bullying. And it like threw me off because I'm just like, that's how I should have known that she is one of those people that plays victim. Because, bitch, did you not fully fucking poke me? Did you not keep doing little things that you knew would piss me off? Because even when I asked her about the Netflix thing, and she told me she was just doing things to get under my skin. She knows what gets under my skin. She was doing it to get under my skin. And then so all of a sudden, I'm bullying you. All of a sudden, you the victim because you kept poking me and I retaliated on your dumb ass? I'm sorry, how does that work? So I kept that in the back of my mind since then, because I'm just like, I bullied you? Really? I bullied you. Baby, you were kind of doing more bullying than me. You just didn't stand on your shit. You just didn't tag me. That's the difference between me and you. I tagged your ass. So September goes by, October goes by, November goes by. Everything is good. So mind you all, we're not even friends for, you know, a whole year at this point. And December comes around, and we have both had a very stressful December. And she told me that she had some flight credits and if I wanted to go on an impromptu trip to Denver with her. She told me that she would take care of the ticket and that she would do the majority of the hotel because this is somewhere she wanted to go. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, like I'm down. That sounds fun. Like I said, it was a very like a last minute thing. We booked the trip like 2 days before we were supposed to go. So it was a good time. Ultimately, before I get into the rest of this story, because we are now into the second half of the story, before I get into it, I would never sit here and call this girl a bad friend to me. Even though I'm sure she would jump at the chance to say that. But I would never sit here and say that she was a bad friend to me, because she was not. How she reacts once we fall out is the issue that I have. It is not with anything of how we were with each other when we were friends. I can never say she was a bad friend to me. With that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into it. So basically, we decided to go to Denver. Denver was nice. I had an agenda when I went to Denver. I wanted to meet like a guy, have a good time with a guy, and that is exactly what I did. But when we were in Denver, something very confusing happened. I will say that I am not going to disclose what happened while we were in Denver. The only way that I will ever disclose with the world what happened in Denver is if she decides to come out and tell this story and lie, which some of the things that she has been saying on social media have been like, okay, now when that happened. But if she comes out and lies about it, or if she puts me into the situation, because I had nothing to do with that, if she puts me into the situation, that is when I will come out with a whole nother video and I will tell you all exactly what happened in Denver. And I might even have some witnesses with me. But regardless, something happened in Denver. It was a very confusing, iffy type of situation. And when I was informed of it, she kept stressing to me that it was fine. It was fine. It was fine. It was fine. I'm going to show you all the text message. She said that it was fine. But my instincts was like, I don't think so. So I end up calling my friend. I call my friend and I'm like talking to her about it. And I'm just like, you know, what would you say? Like, what would you do? Like, I don't want to hurt her feelings. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say like the wrong thing, because my mom always tells me it's not what you said, it's how you said it, blah, blah, blah. So and I feel like my friends have told me that too. So like, I'll like, you know, try to figure out what's the best way to say it, get different people's opinions on like, what would you do in this situation? How would you say it? And that's what I was reaching out to my friend about. But I never really brought this up to my friend. Real quick, before I get into the rest of this, as far as our best friend status, That is something she asked me to be. It was kind of random. It was like on one of those like what are we type of conversations, and she asked me did I want to be her best friend, and I told her yes, but I was very hesitant on calling her my best friend at first because I felt like me and my college best friend had this insane type of like we was just here, and I was cool with her family and all that shit, and I just felt like we liked all the same things. It was just like we were sisters, and I just really didn't feel that way about this current friend. And so I didn't want to call her that at first, and I really didn't call her that until we went to Mexico, when I finally, you know, kind of said, okay, yeah, I think she's my best friend. So that's just wanted to throw that in there. Okay, so after I ended up telling my friend or whatever, she just kind of like let the situation go, and I didn't know this was something that was still bothering her until she told me that she was going to therapy for it. At that point I said something along the lines of, oh, like, you know, I didn't know, like, you know, I didn't know if you were good. Like, I asked my friend about it, like, because I just didn't know what to say. Like, I didn't know how to say anything to you, and blah, blah, blah. And that was that. Keep that in the back of your mind. This was December. Keep that in the back of your mind. December goes by, and we go into, like, the new year. Maybe the first week of the new year, she really didn't say much to me, and I was kind of confused why, but she ended up calling me and basically telling me like that she had been going to therapy, and she also told me that the reason why she hadn't called was because she was watching some kids. I don't know how true that was, but she told me she was going to therapy and all that stuff, and in the back of my mind I'm just kind of like, damn, like, hey, this is still affecting her. But it's just such an awkward situation that like I don't want to say anything, you know, to hurt her feelings. Before the new year started, I actually told her, because I want to bring this up because this is what I heard through the grapevine, that I was completely wrong for telling her this, which is fucking crazy. But I basically told her not to bring it into the new year. I didn't want this situation to affect her. We had all these goals of what we wanted to do in the new year. We wanted to start these businesses, lose weight. We wanted to do this, that. And I didn't want this situation to affect her to the point that she could not successfully achieve any of these things because this was constantly on her mind. But for some reason, y'all, let her tell it. Let her tell it, and I'm a bad friend for saying that. It never fails, but whatever. So anyway, I'm going to show you all some of these like messages and stuff throughout January, December, January, and February. All of this is normal, right? We're still talking on the phone every day. She can't drive. She has no license. So I'm taking us to the grocery store. We going places. I'm picking her up from her house. She coming over. We making TikToks. Like, all of this regular shit. Like, I think everything is cool. And February is my birthday, so we're planning my birthday. And we're planning to go back to Colorado because I wanted to have a cabin party in Breckenridge. And I had this connection with the guy that I met in Colorado, and so I wanted to see him as well, but I was gonna do that after the trip. So once everybody went home, I was gonna stay and spend time with him or whatever. But yeah, we were everything was completely normal. Like, nothing struck me that there was a problem. So yeah, like I said, we're planning for my birthday. We're getting everything together. She's suggesting stuff, like she's suggesting I get a party bus, all this stuff. We're buying all our stuff. She's buying her stuff from Shein, all that. So here's the drama now. So you ready? So here's what happened. One day I ended up texting her or calling her. I think I called her. I'll show you all that text message. And I called her and she didn't answer, and she basically texted me and told me, I'm in pain right now. It's gonna have to wait. And I'm just kind of like, okay, attitude. Like, okay, like, you know, I'm like, okay. So, and she was in pain from like these pills she was taking because of her period, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So basically, I had a lot planned that night. I had so much promo to catch up on, And she called me, and I thought this was just a normal conversation, but she called me and she was like, hey, like, you know, do you have time to talk? And I was like, yeah, like, what's up? She proceeds to tell me that she didn't appreciate that I told someone what happened when we were in Denver. And I was like, oh, you talking about my friend? Like, you know, our mutual friend. Which I let her tell it. It wasn't, she gonna say it's not mutual. But I'm gonna tell you the after effects of this whole thing as to why, like, oh, but I thought this wasn't your friend. Anyway, so I was like, oh, you talking about so and so. But she didn't come out and say her name or anything. I was just assumed that's who she was talking about. But it had never crossed my mind that she was talking about when I told her back in December. Like when I was like, oh yeah, I reached out to my friend because I didn't know I didn't know what to say. It just never crossed my mind that this was some shit I said in December. I automatically thought my friend told her, because I'm just like, why the fuck would she do that? Like, that's not helpful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just not gonna be nothing but drama, especially like if she's just hearing it from a random person. And so she goes on to tell me that she feels like I betrayed her and that she cannot trust me anymore. Now, naturally I'm confused, because for someone that you could not trust anymore, you sure as hell were riding in my damn car, allowing me to drive you around like fucking Miss Daisy, making TikToks with me, all this stuff, but you just randomly came to the conclusion 9 days before we're supposed to go back to Colorado that you cannot trust me and I have betrayed you. You had to have felt like I betrayed you back in December. So why are you telling me this now? And I think that was my whole thing. That was one. And just on top of like feeling like betrayed, like I'm over here like, betrayed is when you like fuck somebody's boyfriend or something. Like, you think I betrayed you? Now some of you all may say, oh well, yeah, that is a form of betrayal. But I think a lot of that is, a lot of people are pots calling the kettle black, because at the end of the day, my ex-best friend told me stuff about her mother. She told me stuff about her sisters. And y'all, this is like some serious shit, right? And I'm sure that's some stuff they didn't want me to know. So then, did you betray your family? Or is it only betrayal when I do it? Interesting. And I feel like a lot of people do that. I feel like a lot of people go and vent to their friends about, they vent to their boyfriends, their husbands, they vent to their best friends, whatever. They vent to people, and this ain't meant to hurt nobody, you know what I mean? This is just them venting, and that's exactly what I was doing. However, I'm not going to excuse my actions, you know what I mean? I apologized to her. I apologized to her when we were on the phone, and I was like, you're right, that was not my business to tell, but my intentions were good. I had no intentions on like, you know, trying to like hurt you or spread your business. On top of that, y'all, this information went nowhere, by the way. My friend did not tell nobody. So the information didn't go nowhere, but this was just something that was heavy on her heart. At that point, it was just annoying me, because one, she was saying, oh, well, I'll leave the friendship in your corner as far as what you want to do. And she's crying. And she's like, you know, I don't know if you don't want to be friends no more after this. I don't know, like, what you want to do. And at this point, I'm just, like, trying to let it sit in that, like, she's basically telling me, like, that I'm untrustworthy and that I betrayed her. And I can't wrap my mind around why you would even want to be friends with somebody who you can't trust and you said that they betrayed you. So that was confusing me. And I'm just like, just give me a second. I hang up on the phone with her. I call my friend and I'm like, why the fuck would you tell her that? Like, now this is just some big ass fucking drama for no reason. My friend's like, I didn't tell her shit. And that's when we get on three-way and we come to find out that nothing was told. It was just something that she had kept on her mind for 2 months. And I was like, why you didn't say that? Like, you had me thinking my friend went and told you and all that stuff. Like, why you didn't just come out and say that? And she was like, oh, well, I was trying to, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, whatever. regardless of that, like, I'm not gonna take that I betrayed you. Like I said, I will apologize to you a million times, because that is not something, you know, I don't want you to think that that's how I am or anything like that. I don't want to go tell all your deepest, darkest secrets or anything. Like I said, you didn't even know how you felt about the situation at first. You didn't come to terms. Like, that's the thing. She did not come to terms with how she felt about this situation, I think, until like January or so. Like, and so it's just like, the fact that you expected me to understand when you're literally keep telling me, oh no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And then all of a sudden I'm the bad guy because like I felt like maybe it wasn't fully fine, and I wanted some type of clarity on the situation. I wanted to, you know, ask my friend like, well, what would you do? But at the end of the day, like I said, her information went nowhere. So once we're on the phone or whatever, she basically had said something along the lines of she was going to cancel her ticket. She would give me the rest of what she owed for the trip, but she was going to cancel her ticket. And I'm just thinking, like, it's not making the situation any better, because I'm like, one, this is dramatic as fuck, and two, like, you supposed to be my best friend. You know that I have to go to Denver the first day by myself at this point because you're not coming with me. Like, I've never left you hanging on either one of your birthdays. I spent money that I didn't have. I went out there knowing I didn't fucking have it. You know what I mean? Even the second birthday, y'all, I went on her birthday 1 week after moving here. It took me $5,000 to fucking move to Houston, and I still came on her shit because that was her birthday, and that was my best friend, and I cared about her. But when it came to my birthday, she couldn't put her feelings aside. She automatically made me the fucking enemy and decided, fuck her birthday, I'm canceling my ticket. She could just go by herself because this is how I'm feeling right now, so fuck how she feel. So ultimately I was just frustrated because she keeps telling me, well, this is how long it took her to process, and like, you know, I'm not being sympathetic and all that. And I'm just thinking, like, bitch, I ain't been nothing but sympathetic to this whole fucking issue, and you still making me the bad guy. I was honestly damned if I did, damned if I didn't, because at the end of the day, if I would have told you what was on my mind at that very moment, you would have thought I was a bitch. If I told my friend, it didn't matter. Like, it didn't matter. You was still gonna find some way to make me the bad guy in this situation, even after apologizing to you. But that's the thing, I guess it wasn't sympathetic enough, right? When she said that, I thought about that in my head, and I tried calling her because I was like, okay, we best friends, let's go ahead and get this solved. I tried calling her a couple times. The call, she's not answering the call. I text her, I'll show you all the texts, and I was like, if we don't talk about this tonight, I never want to talk about this again. I don't regret saying that at all, because at the end of the day, you brought up this situation. Like, let's squash this shit tonight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you brought up this situation, you know, even asking her, like, well, what do you, like, how do you want this to go? Like, what is the end result from this? Like, I don't know. And I'm just like, so what you bring it up for then? What you bring it up for if you don't know what you like, what you want to happen from this? First you left the ball in my corner, and then it was just like, well, you don't know what you want to do about it. And it was just like, okay, so what you fucking say it for? But I get saying how you feel, but at the end of the day, I'm apologizing to you, and you're also telling me, well, you don't know what you want to do with that either. And, oh, but you can apologize, but that doesn't take away from the fact of what happened. So what the fuck do you want me to do, bitch? Like, that was just what was like blowing me. And then I, you know, thought about, okay, maybe I am being a little insensitive, and that's why I tried calling her first. And then when she didn't answer, I'm like, okay, are we about to start doing that weird shit again? Because like, I really don't got time for this. So anyway, after that, I tried calling her again, and at this point the shit is going straight to voicemail. I had my friend, you know, who's at that point is in the middle, try calling her, and it doesn't go to voicemail, and she calls her back. I'm like, okay. I sent her a voice message basically saying, like, you know, you called me with something that you had to get off of your chest. As my so-called best friend, if I'm calling you trying to resolve this with you, I'm really not seeing the issue. No, I don't want to keep harping over this. So if you just got offended that I said that I don't want to ever talk about it again, I don't see why that's an issue. And it never delivers. And I'm like, oh, so that's what we're doing that again. Okay, cool. So you stayed 2 minutes away from me, so I'm now gonna come to your house because we're not doing this. Like, honestly, this is a situation you brought up. I had so much shit to do that night, disturbed my whole night, and it's fine because she wanted to tell me how she felt. But at the end of the day, like, bitch, if you're calling yourself my best friend, let's work through this. Like, let's act like adults. I know, like, it's extremely hard for that girl to be an adult, but let's act like adults. And like, let's just go ahead and get to the nitty gritty. Let's sit here and talk about it. And honestly, this was a conversation we should have had in person anyway. So I called my friend. I was like, tell her I'm coming over there. Like, we can talk about this. Like, you know, like, no, we're not about to start doing the blocking stuff again and all the weird shit. Like, cause I done already told her if this happens again, like, I'm done. So I call her, my friend calls her, and I'm at her house outside, like, waiting. And she basically tells my friend, no, I don't want to meet her. I just want peace. I just want peace. And she's not going to bully me into talking to her. This isn't going to go how she wants it to go. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl? Like, you want peace. You just caused chaos. Now you want peace. It's just like, she has an idea of how she wants the situation to go in her head, and then when it doesn't go how she wants it to, that's when she starts blocking people and starts acting like a fucking child. And so I'm just like, girl, this is something you started. I'm coming to your house as your best friend to try to solve it, and you look at it like me bullying you. How am I bullying you? I haven't said shit, bitch. I ain't went on social media, started calling her out her name. Nothing. I have said nothing. I've came to your house, tried to talk to you like an adult, and now you telling me I'm bullying you. This ain't gonna go how she wanted to go, but it's gonna go how you want it to go. Okay, I told my friend, I was like, girl, tell her I'm good. We don't gotta be friends no more. I don't have time for this. You good? You be miserable on your own, bitch. Like, cause I'm not about to be dealing with none of this stupid shit. I'm over here trying to hear you out. I'm trying to understand you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to solve this tonight, and you're acting like a fucking 2-year-old. And I'm just like, whatever. So I basically told my friend, I was like, tell her she needs to unblock me because I have stuff coming to her house. I had some stuff coming from the trip to her house. So I was like, yeah, tell her she needs to unblock me for that. And then she talked to her and she was like, yeah, she's gonna unblock you. And it's so crazy that my friend is sitting there being a fucking middleman because this bitch don't want to talk like a fucking adult. And so anyway, days go by. I have completely shut her out of my mind. I'm so focused on my birthday. I'm so focused on having a good time and just being positive. So I have no clue. Like, I can't tell you all if she was saying subliminals, which I know she was because that's who she is. She's a child. And so days go by. And a couple days go by and I'm just like, okay, like, let me send her a voice message. I'm gonna let you all hear a snippet of the voice message, but the voice message along the line said, like, I didn't want her to think I wasn't in her corner, you know, like, just how the whole thing was like handled. Like, I just don't want her to think I wasn't in her corner with the situation, any of that. This is like a 7-8 minute message or whatever. She listened to it, didn't say anything. I'm like, whatever, like, that's my last attempt.
That is why I genuinely don't feel like I betrayed you. I just don't. Because if you know my heart and you've known me for these many years, you know that I care about you and that I would never, go to Alexis to gossip about you or spread rumors or whatever about you, whatever you think that I did. So yeah, I just wanted to state that or whatever. I don't really understand why it even took this turn. The reason I even went over your house the other day was not to bully you into talking to me. I'm really not sure where that came from because we are supposedly supposed to be best friends. So I came over to your house to actually talk to you in person about the situation because realistically, that was a conversation we probably should have had in person, not over the phone. So I'm not sure where you're getting bullying from. And another thing I wanted to get off my chest, this is the last thing, is the being sympathetic thing. I apologize because that was your business and it wasn't for me to tell, even me kind of explaining my side of it. But to say I was being unsympathetic was not true. But it's also confusing once again because if I bring something to you, when we got into our argument, and I brought something to you. You were completely unsympathetic towards me. You were completely fuck my feelings. It was all about how you felt in that moment. You were blocking me. You didn't even give me the decency to tell me what was wrong. Nothing. And now that this situation comes around, I am supposed to be this angel. I'm supposed to be crying with you. I'm supposed to be upset with you. You know what I mean? That's I guess your version of me being sympathetic towards you. But it's like you don't give me that. You never give me that. You know what I mean? You never give me that when it comes to situations between us. It's Kaylin's feelings are the only feelings that matter at that moment. And even with
to try to make amends with her. So basically, when my stuff finally comes, I text her because, you know, my friend said she was going to unblock me, and the message doesn't go through. So I'm just like, I'm done with this bullshit. I text my friend and I was like, tell her to fucking unblock me so I can get my shit, because like at this point I'm about to haul off on this bitch. Like, I'm not playing these stupid ass fucking games no more. Bitch, if you said you was gonna unblock me, fucking unblock me. You have my shit. And she also had my clothes. My friend was just like, okay. She didn't end up unblocking me, but she ended up, I told her I was gonna come get my stuff. Instead, she brought my stuff to the concierge and left it down there, and then also forgets my clothes. I tell my friend, she forgot my clothes. She's like, oh, what clothes? She reached out to my friend, and my friend was like, my ex-friend was like, what clothes? You talking about the clothes she let me have? Bitch, you know which clothes I let you have and which clothes I didn't let you have. Because I'm going to show some exhibits right here. These are clothes you were not allowed to keep. Never said you could have those clothes. At that point, I'm just like, she know what clothes they are. Like, I can text her the clothes or whatever, but like, you know, she need to run me my clothes. So then my friend says, well, I just need to bring something up to you because so-and-so basically told me that you have been talking about me. Y'all, first of all, she brings up shit that I said in Mexico that I said to her face. She brings up me a harmless comment on her fucking tattoo, twist it completely up, just makes it seem like I've been dragging my damn friend through the mud. I will never understand why a bitch can never, when we stop being friends, why we just can't stop being friends. Like, why does she have to go and start doing messy stuff? What prompted her? Mind you, we were probably about 3 to 5 days before my birthday, before this friend is about to go on a trip with me. Why you would go and tell this girl I have been talking about her? It's like she do evil shit and then tries to play the victim. That was evil. You did that in hopes that that girl wouldn't come on a trip with me. There was nothing that prompted you to go and tell that girl I was talking about her. And on top of that shit that I've already told to her face, there was nothing that prompted you to do that. But you did that because you're evil. And you sit there and try to act like you're this sweet, innocent person, but you're evil. Because that's some evil ass shit. I had not posted about this girl. I had not said shit about this girl. There was no subliminals. I hadn't been watching her stories, nothing. And completely unprovoked, she goes and calls my friend, who she swore was not her friend, you know, but at that time, like, someone I shouldn't have shared information with. But when it called my friend and told her I was talking bad about her, why? Who the fuck knows? She's sick. But anyway, at that point, I go and tell my friends, I'm like, first of all, she talks so much shit about y'all in fucking Mexico. She don't even fucking like y'all, which is 100% true. But that was my best friend, so I ain't about to like sit there and go throw her under the bus. She said what she said, whatever. But yeah, you talking about people you don't even like. Like, I mean, you telling people stuff that I said that you don't even fucking like. Make it make sense, bitch. Like, what? Like, and not even my friend, the one who was basically in the middle, she was talking more about the other girl than anything. And so it's just like, girl, stop. Like, and so I basically sent that message to her because she had unblocked me so I could tell her which clothes, which I sent her. I told her which clothes in the damn voice message that my friend said she'd only listened to a piece of it. So, yeah, once I sent her that text message, which I'll show you all the text message, you know, then I guess she probably blocked me from that. She didn't say anything, whatever. And I went on, enjoyed my birthday and all that, and you know, went on with the rest of my fucking life. Not even thinking twice about her until maybe a couple months later, y'all. A couple months later, I received a call from my friend's friend who went to Mexico with us that my ex-best friend did not like, saying that she called this girl and asked her, do you like me? First of all, why do you care if she likes you? She asked her if she likes her, and then proceeds to tell her this story that ended our friendship. The story that I told. You just told somebody random that you don't even like, went and told her this story, and then basically along the lines told the girl that that like I was siding with the negative thing that happened in the story. And I'm just like, first of all, don't involve me in this fucking story at all, bitch. I ain't had nothing to do with that. Like, if you can be mad at me all fucking day for me telling something that you felt like I shouldn't have told. Okay, be mad at me. That's why our friendship's ended. Be mad at me for that. Bitch, don't start bringing me in no fucking mess. Don't bring me in no bullshit. And that was my fucking problem. And at that point, if y'all know about the situation, if y'all follow her and y'all have some type of inkling as to what I'm talking about, bitch, that's some shit you don't play about. Don't bring me in none of your fucking bullshit. All that shit you got going all up in your head, all those voices that's fucking talking to you, bitch, don't bring me into that. It has nothing to do with me. But I don't know why in the fuck she randomly called that girl and asked her, hey, do you like me? You don't have a problem with me, right? Why the fuck do you care, you weird bitch? So, y'all, it just still boils my blood whenever I think about it. So, y'all, I sent her this text message from a different phone number saying along the lines of like, bitch, keep it up and I'm gonna sue your ass. Keep my name out of your fucking stupid ass mouth. Anytime we fucking fall out, it does not need to be this. Leave me the fuck alone. You do not need to keep mentioning me. You don't need to keep finding these subliminal messages to post about me, because at that point, yes, I got my ass right on her fucking page and made sure she wasn't saying anything that was detrimental to my brand. But go through that girl page and that's all she do is fucking make subliminals about me. She more mad at me, y'all get this, she more mad at me than the nigga this story is revolved around. How you more mad at me? And I've apologized to you several times. But that's why I'm like, have her tell it and all her subliminals will say some shit like, she's the problem. Don't act like, you're not the one who did things to me. Or, what else she say? People always saying that people are playing the victim and talking about bad friends, her not having good friends, like just constant. She has no friends, so who else is she talking about? These little memes that she has put up that has to do with me, and I have apologized to this girl. I haven't even taken the road that I could have taken with this girl. I could have spread her business completely out there if I wanted to. Did I? No. I could have told her sisters and her mother what she said about me. I know some shit that could probably land that bitch in jail, and that never crosses my mind to go and just go do some evil shit to her. If we ain't friends, let us just not be friends. Like, there's no need for that. But she just does this weird like victim type shit. She want everybody to think she's this positive person and all that shit. Girl was over here liking, like my current best friend over here liking her pictures, liking my other friends' pictures and stuff. Like, why? If we ain't friends and you don't fuck with these people, why are you liking these people's pictures? She finally decided to unfollow these people after months. Finally decided to unfollow these people. I'm guessing they was posting me too much and she was tired of seeing me. But yeah, like y'all, it's just crazy. Like, if I really could tell y'all the full story of what happened, some of the things that she's been saying have been like bold-faced lies. Some of the things that she says that she's been through, they don't add up anymore, because of little things that she's posting now. Like, I even went on my damn fake page to comment on one of the things because it was absolutely ridiculous how you hold me to so much of a higher standard and make it seem like I am this horrible person to you, and there are people who have done horrible, unforgivable things to you, and you can forgive them. And you can move past that, and you can say like, oh, is there bad, oh, no big deal. But then with me, I didn't, I done did something so unforgivable to you that you have to sit here and start stirring the pot, start being messy, start doing all this fucking weird shit like a psychopath. Like, that's why I'm just like, is she all there? Like, some of the stuff she lies about, some of the stuff that she says, and now she's even profiting off of not even, I'm not gonna say whether anything is true or not. However, I just feel like some of the details are very fucking exaggerated, and it's insane. It's insane. So that's basically, y'all, the end of my story. But I just am getting really tired of this person playing the fucking victim and making it seem like I have just been this bad friend to her and I never wanted to see her succeed, and just without me in her life she's excelling. And it's just like, girl, shut the entire motherfuck up, bitch. I had been nothing but supportive to you. I had been nothing but a good friend to you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if I told something I wasn't supposed to, my bad. If you feel like I betrayed you, okay, cool, but you also betrayed your family. So keep that in mind. Keep that in the back of your head. But it's just like, at the end of the day, I have a lot of shit on her, and it's never crossed my mind to even go and tell that shit. But that girl, as soon as we fall out, she'll go tell that shit in a heartbeat. So I'm not gonna say we were never friends, but it's just very clear that like her victim thing is something that she has to go work on in therapy, because like there's some screws missing. There's something seriously off with her. And I came on here to tell my side of the story because I'm sick of fucking hearing about it, bitch. This shit happened in February. Stop fucking talking about me. Stop making your little post about me. Stop telling everybody I'm the problem and I done did this and that to you. Because if we really want to get to the nitty gritty and we really want Deanna to tell the story about what really happened that night, I don't think anybody's going to really fully understand you. So with that being said, that is all to my story, guys. Like I said, I don't know. She had already explained to me that there was something mentally wrong with her at one point, and that she was taking medicine from it, but I think she needs a higher prescription because she's off. So, and I'm not trying to like bash mental illness or anything like that, but it's just like, don't bring me into your bullshit. Leave me out of that. You know what I mean? Like, if you gonna be mad at me for one reason, be mad at me for that. But then you coming up with all this other stuff and trying to do things to tarnish my name and brand when I could literally do that to you in a drop of a fucking hat. And I don't. So don't make me the bad guy when you know I can be the bad guy. You know I can be horrible. So thanks guys for tuning in. I know this was a super long video, but I wanted you all to get every piece of the tea. So if you all have any questions, feel free to comment them below. And I think that's all. But thank you all so much for watching. Bye.